Hi everyone, this is Dr. Nitin Chhoda with Ignition Time and welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for being a viewer, for being a subscriber. If you're not a subscriber yet, please consider subscribing. Please enable the notification button so you can get instant alerts about important breaking news that affects us, that affects the country, that affects your finances, and that affects your future, including stimulus benefits and unemployment benefits. Thank you so much. Again, my name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda. Please consider clicking the like button if you learn something new. In this video, I'll talk to you about the impact on stimulus negotiations given the diagnosis, given the fact that the president and the First Lady of the United States have contracted the virus. So here is where we stand right now. According to sources close to the White House, and this is information that just came in, the president's already strong desire to have a stimulus package, specifically larger numbers. These are words from the President of the United States that the Republicans should push for larger numbers. The president's already strong desire is likely to go up now, given the fact that the president is looking for a victory amidst a whole bunch of bad headlines for the president. So this is brand new information that is coming in literally as we speak. And I would say, if anything, this increases the odds for stimulus. I've talked about this in other videos on our channel, but let me be clear. For me, it's not about the red or the blue. It's about the red, white, and blue. I'm not Democrat. I'm not Republican. I'm American. You will never hear me getting tired of saying that, because that is the truth. That is how I feel, and I know that is the way our audience feels. This community, this Ignition Time community, consists of Americans first and then Democrats and Republicans second. You will never ever get me bashing the administration, the president, hear me bashing House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. That's just not in my DNA. I don't even think like that. So there is no toxicity on this channel, and I would encourage you to also take a balanced approach towards everything you're about to hear, especially at this time, because we are only as strong as our weakest links. We are only as strong as our weakest and most vulnerable moments, which is where we are as a country right now. But the good news is that I believe that the odds of a stimulus are higher. In fact, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi specifically talked about stimulus just this morning when she was being interviewed, and she said some very interesting and extremely telling things that I'm going to get into with you right now. And keep in mind that the jobs report came out. More and more people are getting their jobs back, but the rate at which jobs are coming back is actually slowing down, which means this economic recovery is starting to lose momentum. And with that being said, let me jump right into the news. Now, I do want to give you news before I get into this. It has been reported that the president is experiencing mild symptoms, and the First Lady, Melania Trump, is now also confirming that she's experiencing symptoms. The First Lady, Melania Trump, did tweet, and I quote, I'm quoting the tweet from First Lady Melania Trump's Twitter account. "Thank you for the love you are sending our way. I have mild symptoms, but overall feeling good. I'm looking forward to a speedy recovery." So that is where things are going right now. Now, let's get back to what House Speaker Nancy Pelosi said. She was specifically asked this morning, help us understand where the $435 billion for state and local aid will go. She said, we need assistance for state and local aid, and that's where the negotiation is. And she said, I'm very concerned about the jobs report that has an impact on our families, because I want my viewers and subscribers to understand something. For you and for me, this is an economic reality. For you and me, this is essentially a matter of keeping the lights on. This is a matter of putting food on the table. This is a matter of being able to make rent and, not being homeless, not living in your car. For our politicians, for our government, this is about a political need. This is all about timing. This is all about opportunity. And now, more recently, it's become about the SCOTUS vacancy. It's about the nomination of the next Supreme Court Justice of the United States. And now, given the fact that the dynamic has changed, these are specific words from House Speaker Pelosi, the dynamic of the stimulus negotiations have changed, and I'll give you more detail about that. Now that things have changed, and on top of that, the jobs report that came out that showed that jobs are recovering, but at a slower rate. In other words, the economy is losing momentum. I would say the odds of a stimulus just went up dramatically. Now, I want to be very clear with you. On my channel, you'll get the truth, you'll get honesty, you'll never get false hope on my channel, because I have enough respect for you and I have enough faith in you to know that you can handle the truth. I don't think of my viewers and subscribers as individuals who need to be clickbaited or who need to be misled. That doesn't matter to me. And my point is, I am not going to mislead you, and I'm going to give you the truth. And I know that the news isn't very encouraging. I'm hoping to give you positive news. I would love to report sunshine and rainbows, and when the time comes, I will, because I know for sure that one day all of this will be behind us and we'll be stronger, and I will help you get there with all the financial freedom education, with all of the other things I have to share with you, how I achieved my own rags to riches story. In fact, on your screen, you'll see the cycle of poverty. The cycle of poverty is something that it's very hard for individuals to escape the cycle of poverty. And as you can see on your screen, take a look at the cycle of poverty. I was able to escape the cycle of poverty because the cycle of poverty involves not having enough food, not having enough education, not having the right kind of opportunities, not having the right kind of education, but then being able to escape that cycle of poverty is what allowed me to live my American dream. If you don't know anything about me, check out my video. I have the fortune, the honor, the privilege of living the American dream. And I do have a rags to riches story. You'll learn more about who I am, what my journey has been like, and why you should listen to me. As far as Speaker Pelosi is concerned, she said, I quote, "I'm very concerned about the jobs report that has an impact on our families. I am concerned for families that don't have rental assistance and food assistance. The Republicans are not concerned about their needs. They pressed the pause button. They said the states should go bankrupt. The president said no support for badly run Democratic states, but we don't want them to politicize this. We want an outlay of funds for the pandemic and loss of revenue." Now, let me just take a break and say, it shouldn't matter whether you're a President Trump supporter or whether you support House Speaker Pelosi. At the end of the day, we all want what's best for the country. It doesn't help that we bash our leaders. We need to just hope that they come to a consensus, and I believe that they will come to a consensus because the country needs that now more than ever. So House Speaker Pelosi said this is stimulus. We are not going to take the path of least resistance because everybody is saying, let's just take something. House Speaker Pelosi is referring to other Democrats who felt the pressure, who felt the need to be able to accept something just so that something can get done. House Speaker Pelosi has been staying firm in her negotiations. In any negotiation, and by the way, I've done this. I've done deals where I walked into a room ready to agree to a certain dollar amount, and I felt something was off, and I was ready to walk out the door. And then, I got a better deal because I'm an angel investor. I own rental properties, and for me, this YouTube channel is a way of giving back. If you pay close attention, to my YouTube channel. I'm not asking you to buy some silly stocks, or I'm not asking you to take advantage of some sort of a stock brokerage firm so I can get an affiliate commission. I don't do goofy stuff like that. You'll notice that I don't sell merchandise on my channel because I don't need to. I do this because I am a proud American, and if you haven't sensed that, then you haven't sensed it. But I am a proud American, and I'm doing this to serve you, and I'm doing this to pay it forward because I am a proud American, and I believe in the greatness of America, even at these times, even in these highly uncertain, bizarre times that we live in. So House Speaker Pelosi said, this is stimulus. We are not going to take the path of least resistance because everybody is saying, let's take something. She said, something could be a missed opportunity. In other words, House Speaker Pelosi is saying, if we just take what's thrown at us, it'll be a missed opportunity. We need to be able to, get what we want. And again, this goes back to negotiations. I want you folks to remember, if you forget everything I've told you in this video, I want you to remember one thing. In any negotiation, the side that's willing to walk away is the side that has the most leverage. If I walk into a business meeting ready to buy, a strip mall, or if I walk into a business meeting ready to buy a shopping complex, which I have done, if I'm willing to walk out without writing the check, I have more leverage because now I can cut a smaller check than if I wanted to. I have done that in my own personal negotiations. And as far as you are concerned, I want you to understand that what's going on in DC is not, I don't believe that the government officials want to hurt anybody. I believe that unfortunately they just don't see eye to eye. There are egos, there's politics, but I don't believe in some sort of a conspiracy theory or an agenda. At least that's not what you're going to get me talking about on this channel. I mean, if you have a difference of opinion, you're welcome to discuss it in the comment section below, but you will not get it on this channel. So House Speaker Pelosi said something could be a missed opportunity, which means she is standing firm with her position. She is not budging. And she said, I'm very unhappy. It took them 4.5 months to say, let's do something. And she said, and this was big, she said, we will get something done. Some of their members are going to say no more stimulus, and I respect that. That's what House Speaker Pelosi said. House Speaker Pelosi was also asked, are Republicans ready to come to the negotiating table now? She said, I quote, I'm negotiating with the administration and they communicate with the Republicans. And she said, and I thought this was unusual, she said, the Republicans simply mimic what the president says in terms of masks and other things. In other words, she's saying that if the president is on board with US Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin about the stimulus, and I do believe that the president will now be more willing to strike a deal with House Speaker Pelosi. And by the way, if you're a supporter of Speaker Pelosi, and if you say, hey, Speaker Pelosi standing firm, led to the president and the Senate getting closer and closer to her, you could be right. If on the other hand, you say, hey, I'm a supporter of President Trump, this stimulus happened because President Trump agreed to go further closer to the Democrats, I guess you could be right as well. All of us, we have our own beliefs, and that's okay. I respect that. And so again, let me repeat, for me, it's not about the red or the blue. It's about the red, white, and blue. I'm not Democrat. I'm not Republican. I'm American. Okay. So you'll hear me saying that over and over again. Now let's get back to where what Speaker Pelosi was saying. She said, and this was interesting, this changes the dynamic of the stimulus negotiations. And she said, here they see the reality of what we have been saying all along. It's airborne. It's not just about my touching someone. That makes it more dangerous. I'm optimistic that we always have to find a path, and we will. By the way, this puts the Democrats in a stronger negotiating position because the administration is now vulnerable because of these bad headlines politically. Again, let me be clear. I have done other videos about this. I am wishing the President of the United States, on behalf of our entire community, our entire respectful community at Ignition Time, and the First Lady of the United States, a speedy recovery, and I'm quite confident that they'll be fine. But this politically does tend to give the one side more leverage than the other. There's absolutely no question about that. And the holdout from House Speaker Pelosi, as you know, she got a lot of criticism from our viewers and subscribers. She actually got criticism from within her own party. That holdout politically is now likely to yield dividends for the Democrats. And again, I'm speaking from a political standpoint. That is the way things are right now. It's okay with me, whichever side you support. That's totally okay with me. But politically, you can start to see the administration now budging and getting closer and closer. In fact, that's what I reported at the start of the video. House Speaker Pelosi said, understanding that people are suffering, if you have lost your job and healthcare and you are food insecure and on the verge of evictions, Mitch McConnell pushing the pause button and 25 senators saying we don't want to spend another dollar on this. It is true. There have been Republican senators who've been concerned about the fiscal deficit in our country. I have done another video on senators who are opposing any further stimulus, so you definitely want to check out that video on our channel. House Speaker Pelosi continued, our lives, our livelihood, and the life of our democracy, the integrity of our elections, and the good health of the people is all at stake. Nothing is a deal breaker. She said that she wanted to do a deal. She said they didn't even have a bill until recently, and she said this is, and she's talking about the HEALS Act, which was introduced literally at the last minute before the $600 a week federal boosters were expiring. She said, and I quote, we don't have shared values. We have to fight for children, for food, for rentals. We have to fight to crush the virus. I came down $1 trillion because they went from $3.4 trillion to $2.4 trillion. And then she said, then another $200 billion I came down by because the updated version of the HEROES Act, which was passed by the House yesterday, and I've covered that elsewhere on my channel, that's just a symbolic vote. But who knows, anything is possible at this moment in time. Whatever happens, you will hear it here first. So they did come down from 2.4 to $2.2 trillion. She said, because we changed the timetable of how long some things would last. She's talking about taking the provisions of the original HEROES Act and shortening the time frame for how long things would last, and that's how the bill reduces to, at this moment, $2.2 trillion, which is the offer from the Democrats. By the way, the Republicans' latest offer was $1.62 trillion. I will not be surprised if that goes up because of the fact that things have changed. In fact, I do believe that the whole dynamic of the conversation has changed. Specifically, the words of the House Speaker, that the dynamic of the stimulus negotiations have now changed. So she said, we need something that gets the job done. What the Republicans are supporting would never get enough support in the House. In other words, the Republicans passed a skinny bill, which the House Speaker said is simply not enough. As you can start to see, the fact that jobs are not recovering as fast as anticipated, the fact that many states are now seeing a resurgence, the fact that 28,000 workers were laid off by Disney, the fact that tens of thousands of workers have been furloughed by airline companies, the fact that the president has contracted the pandemic makes the likelihood of the Republicans moving and the administration moving closer and closer and closer to House Speaker Pelosi and to the Democrats. That is just the political reality, and unfortunately, reality is divorced from from your beliefs, from your political beliefs. That is just the way things are happening right now, reading between the lines. So, and this, I thought this was extremely interesting from House Speaker Pelosi. She said, because I am a woman, maybe they expect me to agree to whatever they put out. That was quite an interesting comment from Speaker Pelosi. She said, when they put it out, it's like, why don't you take that? When we put it out, it's partisan. Maybe it's because I'm a woman. And she said, we are legislators, we are legislatures, we will get the job done. That's it, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Dr. Nitin Chhoda with Ignition Time. I appreciate you watching. If you don't know anything about me, check out my video. I have the fortune, the honor, the privilege of living the American dream. You'll learn more about who I am, what my journey has been like, and why you should listen to me. I'm looking forward to guiding you. We release videos at 2 p.m. East Coast time most days of the week. Get your cell phone out, send a text message with the word ignition or with the word time to 70,000. That's 70000. This way you'll get added to SMS alerts list. You can also get on our email list, ignitiontime.com/alerts. And once you get on our email list, you'll get emails from us in addition to text message alerts, and you can opt out of either of them at any moment in time. You can also bookmark our channel, youtube.com/ignitiontime. That's youtube.com/ignitiontime. This way, you don't have to be dependent on YouTube notifications, and you can check out our channel and get alerts in real time. That's pretty much it. Thank you, everybody. Once again, we release videos at 2 p.m. East Coast time most days of the week. Don't forget, you can follow us on Instagram. My Instagram handle is ignition_time. You can also follow us if you want on Twitter for breaking news alerts on Twitter. Our Twitter handle is also ignition_time. So make sure to follow us on Twitter as well. Once again, we release videos at 2 p.m. East Coast time most days of the week. If you learn something new, please subscribe. Please enable notifications, because that is your vote of confidence in us. Me and my team work very hard. I mean, what you see looks simple, but often there's a lot of complexity behind simplicity. In fact, we make it look simple, we make it look easy. That's because we work very hard behind the scenes. So your vote of confidence in us is you please clicking subscribe, you enabling notifications, and you clicking the like button. That really helps us. Thank you so much. I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.